I'm a teacher at heart, and so when someone doesn't understand and they're trying to understand, that makes me feel like I didn't do a good enough job explaining it. So let's break this down. Also, for the record, I'm trained in physics and philosophy, and a lot of physicists and a lot of philosophers use intentionally smart language to make themselves feel superior to other people. They sound extra smart on purpose to make other people feel bad. I know that physicists do that, and I know that philosophers do that because I used to do that, and I hate that shit. When Dr. King said, "Power without love is reckless and abusive, but love without power is sentimental and anemic," he was explaining something very important to us. Gender is mostly made up, so this is a bad analogy, but think of the book The Giving Tree. The Giving Tree is a story where we celebrate a female-coded character for literally giving everything of her away. Ultimate love. This is also baked into certain Christian theologies. To love someone is to die for someone, to completely give away your entire self. Contrast this with certain masculine ideas that are like dominance oriented, become better, become stronger, bigger, harder, faster, stronger, richer. We live in a world where we classify acts of care and love as in a different category than acts of domination and power. And even the language I'm using, we think of love as good and power as evil. That's what Dr. King is talking about when he's explaining the Christian concept of love versus the Nietzschean will to power. Power equals evil, love equals good is the sort of basic understanding that we all use in the world, and King is critiquing it in 1967 in Atlanta, Georgia. Part of what Dr. King is saying is that we don't actually have to choose, that you can use power for the sake of love, and you can use love to direct power. We don't necessarily have to pick one or the other. And in fact, if you just pick love and you don't claim any power, you will become sentimental and anemic. You're a Hallmark card as opposed to someone who actually does good for the people you purport to care about. Sole focus on power, reckless and abusive. Sole focus on love, sentimental and anemic. That said, I want to make one final point, which comes from Bryan Stevenson in discussing hope. Stevenson got a court case all the way to the Supreme Court, specifically a Supreme Court case that was about juvenile life sentencing, life without parole sentencing. He did that using power. Specifically, he didn't just say, "Oh, I want the Supreme Court to change things," because that would have been sentimental and anemic. Instead, what he did is he went to specific states and specifically targeted edge cases with child life without parole sentencing, and he was a frickin' military strategist about it. Because he was a little calculating, he got the laws changed for a lot of people. Not sentimental and anemic. Happy reading.